Looks like the board meeting ran a little long.
Holly, you nailed it.
You know, I've always thought you could have someone as a second in case something happened to Heather or like today.
It's a good idea.
Get it started.
I've tried to start 2 meetings at once and it's not possible on the same account.
Oh, even Carol's checking in and she's down in Tucson. Lucky lady.
Yep, we made it.
Good.
I'm not going to tell you the temperature or anything, because when people do that, I always think that's not very nice. So I'm going to be quiet.
Oh, hey, I want to hear. I want to know how warm.
I've got
We
friends.
can
In,
share how cold it is here.
I've got friends in Gainesville who said it's been 35 to 45 every day for 3 weeks.
Oh, that's
burn.
cruel.
I know, poor people.
That's almost colder than we are.
Yeah, it's been almost the same as us for a while there. Hey, does anybody out there have a camera on their computer besides the computer camera? Anybody purchased a camera? Have you been happy with it, Paula?
Very much so.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Both
it
Paulas
is.
have it?
It's a Logitech,
Okay.
and Mark uses it for his web TV stuff.
Okay.
And the man that actually set it up said he was more impressed with Mark's camera. He says, "What are you using? Because I want it."
So
That's a
better
good brand.
quality?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
Paula
not
knows.
using it. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
using it right now, but that's a very good brand for the
Okay.
web camera. And I have another one too that's, I don't remember what the brand is, but you certainly can hook up more than one, but you just have to choose then.
And then
Which
you
one
have the
you're gonna
sound
use in
in the
Zoom.
camera too.
Pardon?
Is the
No.
sound? No.
No, not usually. Some may come with both, but I would recommend having, you can also like purchase a conference mic if you
Yeah,
need
that's what I have.
a mic, okay,
Yeah.
or speakers. So you're going to need input, output if you don't have speakers attached, or a mic. So on my other system, I've got the hard drive, the webcam set up, and then a conference mic and speakers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
These
It's
Apple
better
earbuds work
picture.
great too.
If you have a Mac.
I don't have a Mac.
So
Ray, if you wanted to call Mark this afternoon and talk to him about what he has, we can certainly look it up, and because ours is not a Mac either.
Yeah, I know there's 4 or 5 highly rated brands. I've looked at those already.
oh, mine's not a Mac either. I was just saying someone had shared the earbuds work,
Oh yeah.
but
Trevor was
if you
saying that.
use just the the little piece, then it's easier if you have a Mac to use just.
Okay,
My
thanks.
AirPods do work with PC as well.
Do they?
It just
Okay.
takes a little bit
Yeah.
more to hook them up.
Right.
Not much more.
Carol's doing the same thing too.
Yeah. So then your system would probably need Bluetooth capability. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I use the earbuds with my Surface, and it works
Yeah.
great.
I'm cheap. I use a little $9.99 freebies that I picked up, but I have an extra. I have an old Candy speaker. That tells you how old that puppy is.
Oh,
All right. Well, looks like we have about 34 people participating. So
geez.
go ahead and
1, 2, 3.
our meeting
I
to
only see-
order.
We're going
I
to
see
mute
Dave is
Dave.
talking.
You see me?
Yeah, we
And
see
hear
you and
you,
we
Dave.
hear you.
Okay.
All right. If you would join me in reciting the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is
Is
it
it fair to all
concerned?
concerned?
Will it build
Build goodwill for better friendships?
Will it be
Will be
beneficial
beneficial
to
to
all
all concerned?
Sure.
All right. Thank you. And Jesse will be doing our invocation today.
Sure. Thank you. A wise man once said, if you can't be great, be good. He said that being great meant being a doctor or a pastor or a teacher. Being good meant doing the right things for the right reasons, serving others and being compassionate to the needs of the suffering. Lord, help us to put service above self, to seek truth and fairness in our dealings, and to strive for solutions that are beneficial to all concerned. Help us to just be good. In your name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Jesse. All right, introduction of guests. We have our past district governor, Rick Ricker. We have our assistant district governor, Don Peterson, is with us. Looking to see if Gloria Menk. Do not see Gloria with us today. I do see District Crisis Committee member Don Ryan is with us. And I do not see District Committee or Training Committee Jill Carlson. All right, thank you all for participating on the district level of Rotary. Are there any other guests? Did I miss anyone? Not seeing anybody that has a guest. All right, Rotary related announcements. I'm gonna spend a minute here, maybe going through our board agenda since this is a club meeting date. And I think some of the Rotary related announcements are gonna come through as we go through the board agenda. So if you would humor me and let me do it this way, that way we'll make sure we cover everything. So on our board agenda today, we did have a discussion about the Honduras grant. And, you know, I just think this is such a great thing. And Rick, if I could maybe pick on you to give a summary of what that grant has been. And we hope to be getting payment out soon, but I think it's a good opportunity for us to hear once again about the Honduras grant. Rick, if you would.
Yes, it is an interesting grant. It's for medical equipment. It's for a scan machine that operates off of either an iPhone or an iPad. Now, if you go in to get a CT scan in a hospital here, it's an extremely large amount of money to get that done. This new thing that they've come out with makes it relatively easy to use this equipment, and anybody can be trained in, which matter of fact, we do have one machine that is in Honduras right now, and they've been getting training from Paul on how to use it and Jim Roloffs. And so far, so good. We're very pleased that it is, they did get it and it is being used. And one of the things that makes it kind of difficult with some of these grants, especially when you're dealing with medical equipment, Rotary has had a problem with you get this equipment and you get it to the country and you don't get any follow-up on it, and next thing you know, the equipment has disappeared. So seeing pictures and actually the thing in use has been really cool. So it is going to where it's supposed to. It's a really good grant. We're hoping to establish a relationship here in that country and possibly do some more grant work there, more projects. I would foresee that possibly even a vocational training team with doctors for training could be a possibility, which is over a $30,000 grant that we could apply for, but that's in the future. But anyway, this one's going through. We got approval today to open the checking account, and we should have this all sewn up and taken care of within a week. So.
Thanks, Rick. And then just a reminder, so the grant was received, but then also the portion of the peach sales was also used.
Yes.
For this medical equipment as well.
Yes.
All right. Any questions on that?
Which country was that?
Go ahead, Dave.
Which country was that?
Honduras.
Honduras. Let me say one other thing. Doing business in Honduras is it's a little bit different than it's a developing country, but it's also known it has some drug problems. They estimated 80% of the cocaine coming in the United States travels through Honduras. So corruption is very prevalent in that country. So it makes it a bit of a challenge to work there, but it seems to be going well for us. So we're excited.
Thanks for your work on that, Rick. Couple of other things from the board meeting today. We did make a contribution to the Rotary International Foundation of $250. I don't know, Jim, if you have anything else to share regarding that contribution?
Historically, we've made a contribution to the International Foundation on behalf of our district governor. So this is just a carry forward of that same thing we've been doing. And so we're going to do, I'm struggling with our district governor's name. Somebody needs to help me. Whoever it is, we're going to donate to the foundation on their behalf.
McLean.
McLean, that's the name.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. And then we are moving some money into a CD. The other thing that we talked about today was the CRMC fundraiser, the Pro-Am that's coming up. And so with that, I just asked Nick and Trevor if they would take a few minutes to kind of bring Rotary up to date on where we are with that.
So the first thing I would say is just a thank you to Ron. This is Ron's baby. He's kind of, stepped away a little bit, but it wouldn't be happening without him. And the contacts at CRMC, and of course, Don, keeping the Strive thing going. We've decided to do it. We've got a contract in place where half the money would go to our Rotary youth programs. The other half goes to the CRMC Foundation. Me and Todd are going to negotiate that going to sex trafficking if possible. For Rotary too, I think that would fit the healthcare need if we could talk them into it, since a lot of the work's coming from Rotary really. There's a gala on the night before with an auction, and then a Pro-Am the following Monday. That tournament, and Nick will have to help me, is the last week in August. And Nick,
I don't know the date off the top of my head either, Trevor.
I believe it's the 28th, sticks in my head. But anyhow, and it's rolling along. It's a collaboration between Central Lakes, noon and morning Rotaries. Traditionally, that golf tournament has been an event done by the morning club, and they're the ones that kind of headed this up with Ron to start it. Brad over at the morning club and I are on the CRMC charity committee with the foundation head at Crosby for sure. I'm not sure who else is on that committee. But it's going to roll forward. The good news on it is Craigan's has taken on all the expense of the tournament. And so if if it doesn't make money or doesn't cash flow, we're not obligated to pay anything. And so there's really no risk. Once our expenses are paid, like I said, half the money goes to us, half the money goes to the Crosby Foundation.
The date for the events we would be a part of are the 22nd and the 23rd of August.
Do we have Dave Schaefer, do you have a specific job we were supposed to do or anything like that for this thing?
So we form committees, and I'm going to be mistaken on who's on which committee. I can't remember which one Nick's on. I'm on the committee for the silent auction. I know Brad is on the committee for the golf.
I am on the committee for the dinner.
The dinner, okay, well, there we have all three. And so there's those three committees, and we have one person from each club on each committee, I know. And then we're trying to find people outside the community to join just to get a little more engagement. I have Jim Russell and Cody Tisla on the auction committee right now, and Shane Hardy. Oh gosh, it's fun stuff. I've got a contact with the Timberwolves, trying to get two of the Timberwolves players to come. I've had a contact with Kirk Cousins. I've had a contact with Kevin McHale, with a friend that lives by him in Phoenix. And we're hoping to auction off some celebrities to play in that Pro-Am too. and auction that off the night of the gala. Whether we're doing a liquor auction for the auction, we're going to do a high-end liquor auction if we can get high-end liquor. Anybody wants to donate some, it's very hard to get that. Anybody's got a Van Winkle they want to donate, we're looking for it, but it's hard to get that stuff. Mark has been helping me, but it's just very, very hard. And he kind of, I was hoping for 100 bottles, and he said he hopes I get 5. So we'll see how I do. But that's kind of the plan. And like I said, the more we raise, I guess the more we can do. I know a goal that Ron brought to us outside of Strive that we all really like is this Elevate USA, or some kind of a hybrid of that, bringing that to Minnesota, maybe a hybrid just to the Brainerd Lakes area. But it's just, it's so much money we make, or any. That's all I really have, I think, on it.
Yeah, where we're at right now is we've formed the committees. We're looking for volunteers to join the committees. Plan is to start committee meetings next week. Trevor, I think, mentioned that Craigan's is participating along with CRMC having representation. We want to have the first meetings with the committees with Craigan's because they do have some of the logistics and planning done already. So we want to make sure everybody's on the same page. But the ask to the club is if you have interest in participating in any of those committees, let Trevor and I know, and we can get you on the list.
I want to contact with Rick Reese, the old Twins second baseman who ran Jim Bean. So anybody that knows him's got to get that name to me. He lives on Oswin, McKee, and Breezy. Someone's got to know his butt.
Yeah, Trevor, I've got a contact there. And
God
I might
bless
add,
America.
I talked to Brad this morning, and I'm going to kind of be overview working with Brad and trying to help him problem solve. I'm not sure what my role in the tournament itself is going to be, but I'm a little bit careful right now until I don't want to overload my plate. So
you're going to golf with me in the pro-am.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions of Trevor, Nick, or Ron on the CRMC? All right, seeing none, then I just have 2 other quick things from this morning's board meeting. We did just briefly talk about in-person meetings. As you may recall, the board discussed this a couple of months ago, and the decision was made to wait until March and then kind of reevaluate. And I think that's where the board will be moving as far as in-person meetings. Our next board meeting is February 16th. And so my hope is that we have a discussion at the next Rotary board meeting to take a look at March, kind of see where COVID numbers are, where we're sitting as far as comfort in in-person meetings. So with that, just so you know, we'll be doing these virtual meetings through the end of February for sure. And then the other thing that I wanted to update the board on is, one of my goals as president this year is to try to do at least one volunteer opportunity every quarter. So we did the Coach for Kids in the end of the quarter of 2020. And then of course bell ringing, but that's something we do all the time. I'm trying to look for opportunities of things we haven't done before. I have been talking to the outreach program of Brainerd to see and was hoping that we would be able to volunteer there on February 16th. However, they have some maintenance that they have going on. So they have asked us if we would be interested on March 16th. So again, that would be one of our club meeting dates, that instead of us meeting, we would do a volunteer opportunity instead of a normal Rotary meeting. So stay tuned for more information on that. And that's kind of a very quick recap of our board meeting. So are there any questions? All right. So seeing no questions.
Jennifer, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you get back to a meeting, where will they be held?
So I think that's one of the discussions. As you may recall, we were going to do 2 months at Dennis Drummond Wine Company, and then we were going to do 2 months at the Woods, but then COVID kind of changed our plans for those 2 months at the Woods. And I think that would be part of the board discussion on the 16th. Any other questions? All right, seeing none. Andy, Ryan, our Sergeant at Arms, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Well, I'm ready. And I'll tell you why I'm ready, because 50% of my kids went back to school today, which is very exciting. Oh, somebody put us on hold. There we go. That's $1 for whoever 829-3333 is. Anyway, stole my thunder. 50% of my kids back to school. 2 weeks, the other 50% go back to school. So big excitement. I'll tell you what, the mornings have been less stressful. All of a sudden this morning we had to be somewhere at a specific time, and there was some jealousy for older kids not getting to go back to school full time yet, but very excited. Kindergarten, second graders are.
Help me.
I can see it.
You see it?
Yep.
All right, good.
We got to run.
Yeah, it's a long presentation. I promised to zip through it in 10 minutes or less. Anybody wants a detailed copy, call me and I'll give it to them. First of all, who are we? That's my family, a couple boys that are 50 now and scratch golfers and just great kids and their families. And we moved to the area back in 2019 because of the tournament. Previously, we were living in St. Cloud, and I was going back and forth every day. So we became new residents. For the most part, although I've done some other things, my career has been in wireless. I started at Motorola, so I hate to hear those words about a Zenith, but good brand too. I started back in Motorola in 1965, inside the plant, and then I worked out in regional sales. And at one time I did an expedite on a project for IBM, and my boss said, "Well, what can I do for you?" And I said, "Move me to Minnesota." So in 1973, I came up here and served many different positions, including I headed up the data and telemetry for cardiac EMS applications. In the later years, in 1983, I became part of the term or second person in command of the first cellular launch in the United States. We had a launch deal at Soldiers Field. Based on that, I got hired by US West, and I launched the first system west of the Mississippi. In 1989, US West shipped me over to Budapest, Hungary, and I did the first cellular system in Eastern Europe. When I came back, they didn't know what to do with me. So I had a year off, and that's when I spent time and founded the 3M Championship. Going back to work again, real work, I had my own company that was a small licensee, but I became a Sprint president, and that's how I retired in 2000. My post-retirement, it took me about 3 minutes to figure out that I wasn't a retiree. So in 1997, we sponsored Ari Lyondike in the Indianapolis 500, and he won. I won't embellish that anymore, but a whole discussion could be on that itself. But that got me interested in IndyCar. So for 7 years, my wife Sarah and I traveled with the IndyCar circuit, involved just living a dream. I come back and I was involved in Muskies Inc. Ray and we got to get to know each other a little bit better, but I was the international chairman. I was one of the charter people in Muskies Inc. Then we got into the graphics business, and I'll have some slides on that. And I'm not going to take you through everything here. because I got a slide and I'll just talk you through that. When I got back from the racing venue, I decided to go to the 3D graphics business. I found a guy in Germany with some patents and signed up. And it was my first opportunity to teach school in a way. I got involved in the Thunderbird International School of Business and worked with an MBA class on sports marketing to help design the business plan for the new company. The new company was a 3D imaging business. As you can see, we take normal pictures or floor mats and change them into 3D. And it's quite outstanding. The biggest project we ever did was down on Wall Street. We also did some inside projects. The one you see here is the St. Louis Blues. We did 1,000 steps for the St. Louis Blues. And if you notice the one up on the left, we were working with the National Hockey League in Bettman to put the Stanley Cup under ice in 3D. Going back to my racing days, again, we used the 3D technology to put on in-car cameras. When you look at it on TV, you can't tell what the branding is. And I used our 3D imaging on race cars, both NASCAR and IndyCar, is a little market niche. The car you see down on the bottom right is the Sprint PCS Championship winner in 1997. These are some indications of stuff that I did in NASCAR. The one that's most predominant here is Mobile One, and I worked with Tony Stewart on it. And this is how we put the decals on the car to make that happen. And then I had a friend, and I was on a college board in Minneapolis with a friend, Manny Jackson, who was the first Black president of Honeywell. And he helped me bring the 3M championship to town. We got to know each other real well. And he asked me to come aboard. He bought the Globetrotters, and he asked me to come aboard and help him with the 75th anniversary. So not too many people get to spend a year with the Globetrotters, but I did, and what a dream that was. Over in Hungary, I got very active. I was on the board of directors of the chamber over there. I built the first cellular system in Europe, and we actually put together the first international tournament in Eastern Europe, which was particularly interesting because in a communist country, they didn't allow golf. And the embassy people and patriots built a little golf course.
My feed coronavirus Minneapolis / St. Paul NHL golf US food news science news entertainment money lifestyle. Personalize. Free.
Okay. And then as Trevor and Nick have talked to, my last challenge and the one I'm focusing on right is the Strive mission. Trevor did a great job of explaining how it is. Again, you know, the project is a 2021 kickoff gala and Strive Pro-Am to be included as part of the CRMC championship. It's an opportunity to take an existing major big event in town and stretch it out to the Rotary Strive program. And we've got all kinds of dreams for it, but we got to get through the first year. That's kind of it. Anybody got questions? Wow, was that good?
Any questions of Ron? What an interesting life you've led, Ron.
Yeah, it's not over, I hope.
I don't have any questions, Ron. This is Paula, but I will say I've heard this story a few times and I learned something new about you every single time. And I'm amazed every single time of hearing something new to share. So what a life. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
It appears that you've got more than one home. Could you say a little bit about that?
I have a home in Arizona. It's a condo, small condo. And I also had a home in Minnesota, actually on Lake Minnetonka. And then I moved to Lake Minnetonka to St. Cloud to take up a challenge. And then I moved from St. Cloud to Brainerd here to take up the latest challenge. I've had the home in Arizona for quite some time, probably all the way back in the 80s, some form of a home. But the last 2 years, I haven't had the opportunity to go there because of the tournament. I really, I was going there 30 days one year and 40 days the other year. We just got there last year and COVID started happening. So I really haven't enjoyed it. So not that it breaks my heart that the tournament was canceled this year, but it did give me an opportunity to spend a little bit of time in Arizona.
Other questions of Ron?
Hey, Ron, how much time we have, Jennifer? You wouldn't speak to Elevate USA for a few minutes and kind of our long-term goal to build on Don's program.
Are you asking me?
Yep, asking you, Ron.
Yes.
Trevor was.
I'm here for whatever you'd like to do.
I said you wouldn't speak about what it is, though, and explain Elevate USA and kind of, you know, the
Sure.
kind of that vision.
Yeah. Do you want me to go into that now, Trevor, or give an interview?
The 30-second version.
Okay, 30-second version. 2 years ago, we brought Tom Lehman in to be our honorary chairman. We tried to pay him and he wouldn't take any money. He said, if you want to pay me, just give the money to Elevate Phoenix. And I did, and I got invited to his big gala a year ago. I was absolutely blown away. It's a mentoring program for kids. And again, I'm going to shorten the story, but we're focusing right now on teenage, high school kids. The Elevate Phoenix program covers all grade levels. And Tom made it his only foundation, the only one he really gets totally involved in. And it turned into a mentoring program as the kids started in elementary school, then went to high school, then went to college, and then became alums. The beauty of it, instead of it just being a 1 year, one thing for the kids, it extends through most of life. So the alumni kids work with the college kids work with the high school kids, and the high school kids work with the elementary kids. And it's taken the graduation rate, it's a different environment that we're talking about here, but it's taken a graduation rate, like 3% of the kids were getting out of elementary school, 95%, 99% are getting out now. 85% are making it through college. And we've got some people in the MBA program now, our master's program. So we've taken a group of kids, it's about 500 now, and taken them all the way up through elementary school where they were in drugs, didn't have parents, really tough lives. And Trevor and mine and Nick's dream, we put together a 3-year plan, and we'd like to strive, if this year works right and everybody's for it, we'd like to move it down and start capturing the elementary school. And then we can start capturing a little bit of Lakes College. And all of a sudden we've got a real program with some different goals. The purpose of our Sunday and Monday events at the tournament, Sunday is a live and silent auction, as Trevor indicated, with high level people. I don't want to give you a misnomer here, but Tom raised $900,000 on a similar event for Phoenix, Elevate Phoenix 2 years ago. They had to do it virtually this year, and they still raised $700,000. So we're trying to get in year 2 to a point where we can raise someplace between $150,000 and $200,000 if everything's coming together correctly, because it requires a full-time teacher mentor to really drive the program correctly. So that would be the first goal for our financing. But we hope it's more than just, we had an opportunity here because of the golf tournament, and it's just like Tom's, and Tom's helping us with it. And we have an opportunity to make it a big deal. So I don't know, Trevor, is that good enough?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions of Ron? All right. Well, seeing none, I will close our Rotary meeting, and I will look forward to seeing you all next Tuesday.
I've got a quick one here.
Oh, sorry. Go
Jennifer
ahead, Don.
and- Jennifer and Trevor, tomorrow or this afternoon at 5 o'clock is that meeting for the AGs and the district and the presidents and presidency-elect.
Yep, and
I'm
Don
there.
sent Trevor an email. I have city council tonight, and I will not be able to attend, but I forwarded it on to Trevor.
And I am signed up.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for the time.
Bye all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ron.
Hi.